Hey guys, so I'm about to go and get my eyebrows microbladed and I'm very excited, but I'm also like a little bit scared because it's, you know, semi-permanent. It is something I've been looking at for over a year now, so I'm like, I'm ready, I'm committed. Like, my appointment is in 20 minutes, so there's no turning back, or else they're gonna charge me full price. And I'm not gonna get charged full price if I'm not gonna have awesome eyebrows afterwards, so that's not a question. But yeah, I don't have the worst eyebrows in the world, I would say, but like, I'm just not happy with them. They're very uneven. Let me see if I can, hello. So this one has more of a shape compared to this one. Like, this one is very straight and just kind of, I don't know, doing its own thing, and neither of them really have a good end to the eyebrow. So I want them obviously symmetrical, and I don't know, I want them a little bit more like pronounced, like prominent with the color. It's not that I want them darker or anything, I just want them to be consistently one color. As you can see, like, it looks like I have no end to the eyebrow. There is hair there, but it's very fair. So my natural hair here is like, you know, lightish brown, but like when any of my hair is in the light, they look very fair, like almost like blonde, but with that red tint. It's hard to explain, like, my hair's very difficult. So I just hope that she can like really match the color well. I'm not nervous, like, for her. Like, she's obviously very talented. I've probably been looking at her work now for over a year, and like, I've been following all of her clients, and I love like her talent and her skill, so I'm very excited for it, and I trust her completely with the shape, even though I've not met her yet, but like, I trust her talent. I'm like, the only thing that kind of worries me a little bit is the color, so I just really hope that that is like perfect. And yes, I already have my mask on in the car. It's because I have really bad maskne going on. I think that's what people are calling it. Like, my whole chin is covered in scars right now, so this is perfect because you would never know otherwise. I'm all done. They are incredibly dark right now, but I think I love them. I'm like in shock, I think, but good shock. I'm not making any sense. Okay, so it didn't hurt. It kind of felt like little cat scratches at one time, but it was like pretty painless. She was super sweet. We talked the whole time. I keep looking at them and I can't stop looking because I love them, but I'm also like, holy crap, they are dark. But basically she said that this side, the eyebrow was very straight, which is kind of what I knew, but she said it's also a lot lower. So for her to do the symmetrical look, she would have had to like kind of shade in my eyebrow more, and so instead of just the microblading, I did microblading with shading, which was $150 more. So I was kind of like, that's a lot of money for me. So like, it ended up being like almost $700, I think, with the tip and everything. And also, tipping in America stresses me out. Like, I never know how much to tip, and I'm like, is this too much, is this too little? Like, I don't know, I appreciate you, but like, I'd rather them just tell me. But she was lovely. She was like such a nice lady. We talked the whole time. We were talking about like her kids and medical stuff and just like differences from England to America, and she was like such a lovely person, and like, clearly she's skilled because I love it. This is day 2. They are very dark today. I feel like in the camera they actually match my hair quite well, but looking like in the mirror and stuff, they're definitely too dark for me. But the artist told me that days 2 and 3 will be very dark. They're going to be even darker than the day that she did them, and then slowly they're going to start to scab and peel off, and that's when like the true color will come out, because she said I think like 60% of the pigment is in the scabs. So definitely too dark. In terms of the shape, looking at the camera, I love them. Looking in the mirror, I love them. Like, I feel like she did a great job at matching them. I said before that I had one eyebrow that was quite a nice shape. It had a good arch, but the other one was more like short and straight. And I told her that I really wanted more symmetry. Like, obviously, then, sorry for that. Obviously, the eyebrows are not going to be perfect. I keep getting told that they're cousins, not sisters. But I definitely wanted more symmetry than I had before. Looking in the camera, I love the shape, but I'm a little bit worried that she's kind of done one too high. I'm not sure if you guys can tell. Maybe I'll be able to notice it differently when I'm like watching this footage back. But when I take a picture of myself, like a selfie, or I've even tried turning the camera and the phone around to like take it not on the selfie camera, it seems like this eyebrow is very, very high. But it seems like I'm constantly raising this eyebrow and not this one. And it's worrying me a little bit. Like, I have a feeling maybe she did the eyebrow arch too high and now it looks more uneven than it did before, if that makes sense. Like I said, I can't notice it when I'm filming or when I look in the mirror, but as soon as I take a picture, I'm like, holy crap, why does it look so odd? But also, like I said, my eyebrows weren't even before, so maybe it's just accentuated that like unevenness, and maybe I've like messed up getting microblading, I don't know. As you can see, my mind is all over the place. Like, I'm like loving them to a degree, but I'm also like freaking out at the same time. But like, I don't know, it's so hard to tell. So this is the one that I liked the shape to begin with, and she like kind of just, you know, accentuated that, and then she tried to mimic that shape on this side, but she basically had to try and draw it on higher up because my eyebrow didn't follow the same shape. But like, I don't know, what do you think? Is it higher? Is it too uneven? I feel like I'm like, I can't do it. I feel like I'm constantly raising this eyebrow. I don't know. I don't want it to look like I've had half a facelift or something. You can tell where she's like drawn in the hairs, and on this side at the front of the eyebrow, I really like how she's done it. Like, it looks a bit more natural because they're not like perfect. You can see like the few that are like almost bushy at the start, but then on this one it's a lot more clean cut. So I think when I go for my touch-up, I'm gonna ask her to kind of add a few more to this side at the front just to mimic that like bushy start. But it's not the end of the world. You can see on this one where I have less hair on the end, and like that's where she's had to like do more shading, as opposed to this one I actually have more hair naturally. Guys, this is day 3 after my microblading, and I'm actually liking them more today. This side is still pretty dark. I feel like it's a lot darker in comparison to this side, but I think that might be because I actually had more hair on this eyebrow to begin with, and this one she had to kind of fill in more with the microblading and shading. A few people have told me like, just trust the process, and I'm like, yep, I'm trying. But as you can see, this one, there's a small patch that's flaked off at the end, and this one, a lot of the top of the eyebrow, it looks almost like red where it's fallen off, which I really hope I don't like get left with red eyebrows for a few weeks, because that's gonna be sad. Okay guys, this is day 7. I kind of forgot to film the last few days, but I'm just gonna quickly show you because I feel like I don't have any eyebrows anymore. They did tell me that the flaking and the scabbing was gonna be so extreme that it was gonna feel like I hadn't had microblading, and I definitely feel that way. You can see this one is like more of an eyebrow, and then this one, which is the one that I had the kind of like spotting and patching with, you can see where she's done the shading, and you can see where my actual hair ends. So a little bit stressed. I really hope it kind of all comes together and goes well, because I'm getting scared. I'm really hoping that she can like fill in this arch to make it as high as this one so that they're a bit more balanced, or maybe like fill in under the arch on this side to make the eyebrow longer like this side. I don't know what she's gonna do, but I'm just hoping that when I go for the touch-up she can do some sort of magic to even them out a bit more. I think I've just got to accept that this is my face shape, and there's nothing I can do about that. I was actually a few days ago, like 2 days ago maybe, I was googling people that had uneven eyebrow arches, and I found, I think her name is Lily Reinhardt or something. She's in that Riverdale show, and she has one eyebrow that has a very high arch. So I'm just like, I'm trying to tell myself like, that's okay, it's unique, it's different, gotta live with it. Like, that's just my face shape. I can't change it too much. But of course I do hope it evens out eventually. Like I said, right now it feels like I've not even had microblading because they're so faint again. I almost missed that harsh like drawn on eyebrow look in the beginning, because like it made it actually look like I had my eyebrows done, whereas now you can't tell any difference. So as you can see, this side, whoa, that is close. You can see where my hair ends and where the shading begins. Looking at it like this, I really like the shape of it, but it's like when you compare it to this one is just like a longer, straighter eyebrow with less of an arch compared to this high arch, and that's the problem. You can see where a few of the patches still need to fall off in the middle of this eyebrow, and the tail to the eyebrow isn't as pronounced anymore. Hey guys, so I completely forgot to film after my appointment the other day, but we are on day 2 of the eyebrow touch-up. So I initially got my eyebrows done 6 weeks ago now, and then 2 days ago I had the free touch-up appointment to basically like fill in the gaps and, you know, correct the color. So yeah, we are going through the whole healing process again, which is, you know, not ideal. I walked into the salon and the girl was like, oh my god, they look so good, you know, you retain the pigment so well. She was like, do you love them? And I was like, kinda. And she was like, uh-oh. And I felt so dreadful because I think she thought like I really hated them, and I was like, no, I promise, like, I love them. I'm just, you know, I know I need like this touch up, like, you know, there's a few little things that I want correcting if you can. And she was like, okay, you know, like, let me know. And I felt dreadful, but also like I spent so much money that, like, you know, I want them to be perfect. But in the end she was like thanking me for actually being direct and telling her what I wanted, because she said a lot of people probably don't do that and they end up being unhappy with their eyebrows. So be honest guys, be upfront, tell the artist what you want. She even said to me, she was like, look, I'm your artist, tell me what you're looking for. I asked her to just try and like balance out the arch a bit, and instead of filling this one in, this was the one that like looked higher to me, she actually made this one a little bit higher to match. So I do think it looks a lot more symmetrical now, and I really hope it like heals that way as well. This one obviously is still a bit shorter of an eyebrow, but again, that's just like my face shape, my muscles. Like, she told me, she was like, look, I can't do anything about your face, and I'm like, noted. Hey guys, so this is my final microblading update. I am technically still in the kind of fading, reappearing stage of my touch-up, but it's pretty much how it's going to be permanently. So yeah, this is the finished product. I would say 90% happy with my brows. Initially when I first went, I said I didn't want that drawn on, like, harsh look, but after experiencing it and like that, seeing my eyebrows dark and kind of prominent on my face, I actually think I prefer that. So I am very happy with where they are at now, but I think next time when I go for my touch-up, like in a year or so, I will ask them to be a little bit darker, just so they are more pronounced and emphasized on my face. But for the most part, I am pretty happy with them. So I love this eyebrow, it's come in perfectly. This one is always going to be the problematic side. I just don't have enough natural eyebrow hair there to begin with, so it's always going to be a little bit lighter, but for the most part I love them. I feel like they match my hair color very well. The symmetry is a lot better than after the first appointment. She's really tried to like even them out more for me, so I'm happy with that. And I've also had quite a few people compliment my eyebrows, like complete strangers, so that's obviously a good feeling. So I had someone at the grocery store, someone was checking me out, or well, not checking me out, but like checking my bags out, like scanning my items, and she just randomly said, she was like, I love your brows, and I'm like, oh my god. I don't know why I'm whispering. It was like a really cool moment because I'm like, someone random complimented them, so that means they like must look good. And then I also had someone at school who actually owns, her family owns like a cosmetic business, so that was a big compliment coming from someone in the industry. And then also when I was picking up my new glasses, the woman who was like helping me fit them and everything, she was like, your brows are amazing, girl. And I'm like, thanks, I just got them done. So it definitely feels rewarding having people notice them and actually like acknowledge that they look good, because, you know, I question how good they look myself. Like, I feel like in the camera they look so different to me actually looking in the mirror of myself. And then obviously even if someone else takes a picture of me, like someone took a picture of me and my friend the other night, and I was like, wow, they look so different in a photo, like from that angle compared to how I take a selfie of myself. So I mean, I'm sure that happens with normal eyebrows though, not just microbladed eyebrows. It's just that now I've had the work done and paid for this, it's like my brows are the first thing I notice every single time. Hopefully this video shows the whole stressful process of getting your eyebrows microbladed. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to ask me and I will try my best to explain and answer for you. It's been a very long 8 to 10 weeks, but for the most part I'm very happy I've done it. Like I said, it's definitely a big improvement and change from my actual natural eyebrows, so I am happy, but definitely a learning experience. So in the future I will probably go a little bit more, I don't want to say darker because darker wouldn't be the right word, but maybe I'll do the more shading, maybe I'll do the ombre brows, just something to make them a little more emphasized. But for now we are happy.